orders. Every resident of our fair town is hereby required to...
I was an off-fairy prince once.
Hey, over here, please.
Lads, I find your concern touching, I do. Yet I've long awaited this day. So, you must forgive me, but I shall go through with it as planned. Ah, it seems my guide has arrived.
Greetings.
Greetings to you, White Wolf. I presume you saw my notice? Foolish question. You're here, thus you must have seen it. Forgive me, I should introduce myself. Count Belladal, a great admirer of your deeds.
Thanks. Not something we Witchers hear often.
But Count, sir, do you mean to go off with just this Witcher? A right hardy fellow he is, no ponce, I'm sure. But your expedition's too risky on the whole. And not taking us with you's, pardon my saying it, right daft.
You exaggerate, Vilmar. I believe I can manage to survive half a day without someone there to wipe me arse in my stead. My guards lament, Witcher, but you must forgive them. Now, to get down to brass tacks. As you've no doubt gleaned from the notice, I've a rather extraordinary proposition for you. I'm a lover, Witcher, of nature. A devotee of the wild. And Toussaint is home to several species not encountered elsewhere. I'd like you to accompany me on an expedition whose aim is to... preserve them. Ah, yes. Naturally, you'll protect me should the need arise. My ever-vigilant guards, see, will report any reckless behaviour to my wife if I get so much as a scratch. And then woe will be me.
Count Belladal? Famous poultry farmer, is that it?
Well, that was my grandpapa. Dear man. But my trade is the wine trade. I import the finest vintages to Covere, my homeland. The very reason for my frequent visits to Beauclair, during which I like to, partake of nature, let us say.
Really need a Witcher to, partake? Got guards of your own.
I could, surely. But they too deserve...
Ah, so this is...
There's also clerk...
Vilmar, please.
Who, what?
My daughter... but,
Need some details before I can say anything.
in the roundest terms, we should...
Preserve?
Of this device, see,
A pair...
It's like a movable megascope.
So, you...
Well, that's more or less what it amounts to, yes. Well, and,
Pretty unusual.
I couldn't agree.
Don't mind if we...
Why ever would I? Sublime! We've a deal!
Doesn't seem hard. Be glad to do something pleasant for a change.
Sublime. In that case, here's your map. Before coming here, I dispatched requests to several local hunters. They located the habitats of the species of interest to me and marked out their ranges on the map.
Good thinking. It'll save us some time. Won't need to track.
Yes, let's.
I lent you corn for wine.
Seems I got the map, so I'll lead.
Boys, my farmers are ready to
Wouldn't rather be out here with those guards of yours?
You jest. It's deliverance to emerge from under their wings. Believe me, they're overprotective. Oppressively so. I wish to admire the wildlife. Preserve it. Not watch them kill it in a fit of misguided fear for my life.
What if the wildlife attacks us?
Then we shall have no other recourse. I do not wish to be something subtle. You, but as long as they remain calm, we've no need to provoke them. It's of the utmost importance to me, in fact.
Map says there's something. Panthers around here. Hunting. Stay close. Keep your eyes peeled. Like a bear.
But one request, Witcher. Avoid bloodshed, if at all possible.
Hear that? Panthers.
Frankly, I did not hear a thing. Clearly, your senses are far more acute than mine. I must rely on them.
Damn poachers. Snares. Looks like they were hoping for a bear. Panther got caught instead.
Look, come. Will you help the mother?
Give it a shot. Gotta go over first. I can't lunge at us otherwise.
Superb image. Folk call witches heartless. This will put the light to that.
Peristysomex upset the animals. Better get out of here.
Cannot abide poaching. I'm content you share my love for animals.
Got pretty broad interests for a man of the city.
I suppose I dabble in my share of things. Wine, nature, painting. I imagine the life of a witcher must be rather more monotonous. With all due respect.
It is. Never boring, though.
I, for one, cannot fathom only ever consorting with the same creatures, day in and day out.
Got a wife?
Yes? What's that got to do with anything?
Nothing. Just asking.
It's those...
Centipedes, giant. Underground tunnel burrowers. Make a distinct sound. We can use that to track them. Sounds loud and clear here. Must be near the nest. We're here.
Well, this vantage point's no good. I shan't capture a good image from here.
All right, wait. We'll find you a better spot that's safe, too. Tread lightly. Giant centipedes sense the softest sounds, the lightest vibrations. You wake one up, it wakes up angry. How about here?
I don't know. Isn't it a bit close?
Right. We'll find another spot. Seems like a safe spot.
Safe, perhaps. But it offers no view whatsoever.
Fine, we'll keep looking. Here, maybe. Distance seems right. Light's not bad either.
Yes, this will work perfectly. Can you lure them out?
Give me a minute. Need to think. Vibrations. Gotta send some through the ground. Try tossing a bomb or casting a sign. And you watch out. Don't get any closer.
Exactly what I want. Look, you've disturbed them enough. Thank you. Truly magnificent that was. We can move on now. Exhilarating. Positively exhilarating. Thank you. I've one more request. Local peacocks performing their mating ritual. I'd love to see that. Apparently, a flock dwells not far from here.
We can go. Just don't count on peeping at them while they mate. Season ended a month back.
Oh, that's terrible. I so wish to capture their splendorous tails in full bloom. Is there nothing you can do if they prove uneager to present? Perhaps challenge them somehow? Goad them?
What did you have in mind?
My thoughts were more along the lines of witcher magic.
Yeah.
Splendid. Consider me contented.
All right. I was wondering, why peacocks?
My daughter is rather fond of them. There will be a treat for her.
We're close. Eyes in the back of your head. A feather from the rump, coated in suet. Cock shed it recently and the suet's got a distinct scent. Ought to be able to track the flock.
Witcher in action. What a treat to watch.
Hear that? They're calling to each other.
Fabulous. We're getting close. Oh, that's lovely. Now, if they could just splay the tails.
See what I can do. Find a good spot.
Ready? Use your magic, Witcher! Oh, this'll be a masterpiece! Smile, please!
Giant centipedes. Damn it.
Where did they come from?
Must have followed us. Get back.
Ah! Geralt! Save me!
Not bad.
All over now.
That was tense. I believe I've had my fill of excitement for today. What a wonderful adventure.
Get everything you wanted?
Yes.
In that case, time to get back to your camp. Returning your lord to you, safe and sound.
You've our gratitude, Master.
You see, lads, there was nothing to fear.
Thank you, Witcher, for looking after our day count. Seems the jaunt did 'em wonders. Breathed some new life into 'em.
Wait here a moment, Geralt. I have to fetch my coin.
New life? He was feeling down?
Made no mention, did he? 10 years back, his lass, Clarissa's her name, took a spill off her horse. Been bedridden ever since. Cannot walk of her own. She'd been the life of the house before the calamity. A merry sprite what filled every corner with joy. Count would oft take her out on trips. She loved animals too. Excursions he makes now, or rather paintings he brings home. They's her only window on the wider world.
Sorry to make you wait. I was dead chuffed to be able to observe you in action. To confirm for myself, I dare say you'd...
One day, maybe.
Your reward. Use it well.
Thanks.
I've one other matter I wish to broach. In a few days' time, I shall exhibit my work for some...
Why not, if I'm in the area?
Splendid. In that case, I shall see you at my lodgings. I'm still...
I'll be by.
And if I were to put up my wife as surety...
Hey! Over here, please!
Heard you calling. Wanted to talk?
I did, for we're neck deep in trouble.
Need a maid with a broom.
You fail to understand. These...
Not talk...
Call them what you will. You must...
First things...
I knew we would agree.
Arachnomorphs don't look much like bunnies, but they sure breathe.
Not even a draft. We're talking about some carrot to move it.
Any tidings?
All taken care of. Went inside and cleaned up.
Thank the gods.
And you too, of course.
Wine trade. Been at it for a while?
Not terribly long, to be candid.
Makes sense. Was looking to buy. Was looking.
Witcher? Guess this champion.
Stock centipede await those running riot.
Harbor innumerable fascinating secrets. Its picturesque meadows and untouched woodlands are home to one of the most dangerous species of Myriopode, this side of the Yaruga. The Beauclair centipede, as it's commonly called, is seen here, proudly displaying its remarkable chitin and calcium carbonate carapace. Both male and female Beauclair centipedes are formidable predators. The bees prefer to hunt in packs, yet the author of this extraordinary work was able to capture a lone specimen preparing to attack. Cast your eye on the hunter. Who the...
Ah, Geralt, you're here. Wonderful. Come, please. I'm delighted to see you. I've a small gift for you, and I shan't let you refuse. You are free to sell it, of course, though I would be honoured were you to hang it in your home.
Thanks. Talked to your guards back at the camp. Told me about Clarissa. Sorry to hear about her accident.
Thank you. Kind words that mean a great deal to me.
How's Clarissa these days? Probably can't wait for you to get back.
To get her gifts, you mean? I've dispatched 2 already. She'll not need to wait for my return. En route home, I mean to pass through Dol Blathana.
Yeah, actually happen to know one. Name's...
Splendid.
Tell him I send my regards. Good crowd. You got a lot of friends. All of them seem to be falling...
Oh, when you've as much coin as I do, friends buzz around. Not all are lying sycophants.
Why bother?
I'm a man of enterprise. I must put my...
Besides...
At times, I'll exhibit a completely failed painting, just to listen to them twist. Naturally, the more intent someone is to get into my good grace...
Nice meeting you. So long now.
I'm glad to have met you. Exceedingly so.
Betun! Hospital! Evalus! Ollie! Accent free!
Go.
Godspeed, bum.
Always chat with him before you chop him down?
3-5-4 fum.
Whoa there. Just...
Wait. Hold now. My
a witcher.
Hold up. A witcher, you say? See? Not a soul around believes this tree...
So what makes you think there's a girl cursed inside the tree?
Well, I came out with my dog, Moholt, to cut her down. Axe in hand, a broad swing I took. The edge burrowed deep in her trunk, and bum-botch me if blood didn't spurt forth. My jaw dropped in the dirt.
Don't tell me. From Herrera...
You porking vet. Second edition.
Guess she read it covered a... Got me curious, gotta admit. You really think the old tales are true?
Taking the weepy, are you? Do you think me balmy?
No, it's just these are dark, grim times. No room for knights pure of heart or happily ever afters. So I don't often run into folk like you.
Yes, true, the times are crud pie. But I see this as all the more reason to remember the tales. My gran would say, if you know not what to do, think. She schooled me so thorough in it, I could...
Let me take a look at the trick.
Careful now.
Swear I hear sobs in the rustling leaves. Actually does bleed. Looks like human blood too. And the bark resembles hypertrophic scars in places. Medallions humming like crazy. Intense magic at work here. Blood. Seeped from the direction of the tree, judging by the shape of the stain. Logger was making good time. Strange, though. Willow's isolated. No other trees near it.
And? Did you look at the tree close?
Mm-hmm. Actually does bleed. Pretty incredible. Looks wondrous.
Did I not say so?
My help doesn't...
You speak to a... Lower. You must go lower. Agreed. I will...
Willing to help, but first I gotta figure out what...
No need. I know... Miss Daphne and Sir Gareth shared a before Sir Gareth set off for the hill.
Let me guess.
He did not. She stood here...
Till she sprouted...
I will fecking tell you why. So you must scale Lynx Crag?
searches. Hut looks inhabited. No sign of the dweller, though. Guess I'll look around. Notes on the use of the arrow stems. Interesting. Liber Yvonis. Conclave of Mages banned this tome. Bones ground into dust. Warm. Smells inconclusive. No idea what ingredients are in there. A wall of spell enhancements, or trophies. Arrow, broken in half. No doubt to bring bad luck to the archer. Branch off a grapevine. Could be to ensure a good harvest, or a bad one. Doll looks like an accessory for casting curses. Silk kerchief, monogrammed DF.
None but feral cats stray in here most oft, yet it seems I've a guest from afar at that.
Already found it.
You do not aim to lift the curse.
What if I do?
Then you had best know you wait. The old tales? Did your Nan not tell them to you? Even I.
The Lady's Knight. You ever make it here?
Sagarath. Yes. He came to sway me, but had a quick change of heart. To be precise, it came after the first night we spent together. He stayed a fair while. Then his conscience got...
Might have resolved.
A tragic fate before...
You have anything to do with this turn of fate?
Of course. Was I to let another...
Refuse to help me, and I'll make you regret it.
Do you know what really makes my...
Wouldn't need to use either.
How would I do?
Akandal!
Not good.
You have bested me. Tradition ordains I must grant you 3 wishes, it seems.
You know exactly why I'm here.
Very well. I will help you. Albeit I pity the lass not at all. I shall do what I can to break the curse that imprisons her soul in the tree.
Why should I trust you?
A word once given, I always keep. Now be gone. Leave me be. I can tend to the rest alone.
Remember the deal we made.
I have given you...
What will the morrow bring?
It's half time. Half indeed.
Damn it, where the hell's Jacob? Wouldn't abandon the tree of his own free will. Need to find him. Fresh blood and clear, deep prints. Looks like Jacob fled, chased by his dog. Morhold, where's your map? Damn it. Check on Jacob. Damn it. Witch freed the ghost from the tree, as promised. Failed to add the spectered be insane. Possessed the first living creature it... Farewell, chivalrous woodsman. Sorry it ended this way. Life's rarely like a fairy tale. Still, folk have gotta have faith. Believe in something.
So that is who her grace summoned from the north.
They say a great deal about you, Witcher, and whisper even more.
walking on water. Just like...
Like who?
Like a pond skater. Who are you thinking?
No matter. I suppose you thought nothing else in life could surprise you, eh? Wrong.
Hey, happen to know how the hell I can walk on that water?
Naturally, I know. Since time immemorial have I dwelt in solitude on this shore, and I can testify to the extraordinary nature of the lake.
What's so extraordinary about it? I mean, besides the fact that you can walk on its surface.
A sword, most wondrous, lies in its depths. I watch over it. The blade may be grasped solely by one who possesses the 5 chivalric virtues.
Folk call me a lot of things, but
Yet I do know. You have proven yourself. You are a man. Of humble means yourself. You show generosity to others. Your valor is the stuff of legends. To acquire the sword, you must first convince me you are worthy. The inscriptions on the stones describe the 5 virtues: valor, honor, wisdom, sympathy, and generosity. During your time in Tucson, you can prove these virtues dwell in your heart. In this world, there are many...
Hey there.
Halt, master. A beast lurks in there.
Right. Expected as much, 'cause I...
Shh, quiet. What do they call you? What's your crest? Speak!
Geralt of Rivia, crest of the bridge. Hail, and well met. Francois Le Goff, I presume. Your betrothed sent me. See, you've been gone a while, so you've got her worried.
Well, indeed, for Grotore is a most fearsome beast. I must prepare properly for battle.
Takes 2 weeks, that?
I have tarried a bit.
Wouldn't happen to need any help, would you?
I...
Deposit the beast's head at your beloved's...
all in all... But I should be the one to lop off its head.
We gotta kill it first. Strange. No sign of Grotore.
Perhaps we should turn back? If there's no beast, there's no beast. Damn shame, but we...
Impressive. You'd think you were in a winter garden. Small skull. Fontanelle's not completely closed. An infant. About a year, maybe. Various sundries. Some tools. Clear as day now. Grotore must have taken the brigand's victims. Gotta be. Seems to be off somewhere, probably feeding. Need to lure it.
To work then! Thy will be done!
Why the challenge? Couldn't have gone after something less formidable? A werebub, for instance?
Why? For...
You're blushing, Sir Knight.
Oh, it's my betrothed. So I vowed to slay Grottori.
High time you...
Nay, nay. The world awaits.
Take my advice. Grab the damned head and cut the shit.
You're blind to my predicament.
Shut up and listen. Crests, scrap metal armor, swooning damsels. All that's nothing to do with hunting monsters. Which is work. Damn hard, dangerous, and thankless work that you're just not cut out for. Want to prove your valor? Go back to your betrothed and be honest. Tell her you're not ready to marry.
You do not mince words, Master. In Tucson, one might demand satisfaction upon trampled ground for a lesser slight. Yet, there is truth in what you...
Take it.
Run, Roach.
Unky says if I'm bad, he'll give me to the witches.
What will the morrow bring?
Have you? Are you looking to get slapped?
Night's naps.
Got good news, madam.
As do I. Francois has returned. Prenuptial teachings at the temple tomorrow. Dressed... and good fortune.
tomorrow, Gring.
My sister saw where this one beggar buried some gold coins.
Greetings, monsieur.
Mind. See.
You're looking well. Top form, my dear.
Where's that coot gone this time?
You shan't find anything better in all Toussaint. Welcome, good.
Show me where you...
I'm my own master with a bottle in front of me. It's no disaster.
I'm glad to see her illustrious grace.
I'd like to...
Naturally.
Camp's abandoned, but a lot of this damage is recent. Guess I arrived just a little too late. Should look around still. Signs of a fight. Paw prints, beastly ones, that's clear. Just on this spot, though. Aerial attack. Must have been. Man, bled to death. Big beast inflicted these wounds. Clear from the claw marks. Must have a toothy smile, too, judging by what ripped his throat open. Draconid. Gotta be. Maybe a basilisk? Except these prints don't belong to any variety I know. Just a little different. Area's dangerous. I'd say there's a basilisk nesting around here. You'd be wise to remain at some distance.
Yes, I'm familiar with the matter, and quite proud to say a basilisk does nest here. I look after it personally.
Look after it? It's not exactly a pet. Beast's murdering folk who come through here.
Just a minute. It does not murder those who do not trespass upon its territory.
You post those warnings?
Indeed, to prevent anyone from coming to any harm.
Well, a lot of good they did. Got a freshly mangled corpse right here.
Most likely a merchant, the poor bloke. Just today, I learned 2 traders had chosen this route despite the signs. I came as quick as I could to warn them. Too late, alas. I've instructed my servants. They shall take the body.
Who exactly are you? And how'd you develop such an interest in the beast?
Count Borges. Happy to be of service. As to the beast, well, this subspecies, as family legend has it, a female of the species rescued an ancestor, a boy at the time, from a burning building. She took the tyke back to her nest, where she fed him as if he were one of her own youngsters.
Malarkey.
To be sure, but beautiful malarkey it is.
Claim this to be the last surviving basilisk? How do you figure?
The last of this subspecies. Their population was much larger at one time, see? Before the beech forests were felled.
Mean to suggest a direct correlation between beechwood forest density and basilisk populations?
Indirect, I prefer to contend. Beechwood forests are the chief habitat of roe deer, you see. In turn, a staple of the basilisk diet. When roe deer grew scarce, and thus we've come to this one last specimen.
Eocast?
Should she not have a name? My father dubbed her in honor of my dear departed mother. These lands have been my family's for decades, granted to us, provided it is not provoked.
York.
Naturally, I cannot revive the dead. This unfortunate...
Where's the basilisk?
Of course I have an idea, but...
Find it myself, then. Easy to track with its Busted barrels. Contents spilled all over. Must have been tannin in there. Used to treat leather. Beast smashed the barrels. That's how the scent got on the scale.
Yokoko is so very curious. Strong scents especially intrigue her. The barrels, they must have drawn her in. Drawn her to the caravan.
Busted barrels slimed with venom. Hallmarks of an attack. Basilisk must have caught the second victim here. Anyway, got 2 scents. Venom and tannin. Ought to be enough to track the beast.
Why track her at all? Your caste is protected. Her death would forever destabilize the ecosystem. Who knows what would happen? I see unforeseeable consequences down the line. Simply refrain from provoking her. Harm her not, and she too will leave you untouched. I've long suspected they do it on purpose. Scent their goods. They seek to lure the basilisk to destroy their wares. It allows them to demand compensation from their assurers.
Odors dispersed. Seems to be everywhere. Basilisk must be high in the sky. Bloodstains. Clear as day. Sense perceptible again. Just as I expected. Second victim, but relatively unscathed. Basilisk must have been dragging him back to its nest for later. Dropped him for some reason. Wonder why. Hear something, but it's no basilisk screech. Human voices?
Something in that skull of hers. Not about to roost at its nest. Gilmore, Harry, prepare you. And who might you be?
Funny. About to ask you the same.
They call us the Reavers.
Reavers? Wouldn't happen to hail from Crinfrid, would you?
Aye, we do. But how's...
Geralt of Rivia. I'm a witcher. Know your breath.
Ah, you're that witcher. A professional. Could use another pair of hands.
Gentlemen, this hurts my ears. If you fear to lose the guild's reward, I shall repay it, and reward you double.
Willing to pay, are you? Long as we do nothing?
Beast has to die.
After all I told you of your caste, you would murder her?
Sorry, Master de Salvarez. Actually, not sorry. A monster's a monster.
Herbalists, alchemists, I know many.
Somebody plug this lord. We've crossbows. Comply with bolts while you do the hack and slash.
We'll go at it as a bunch. Just stay clear of my sword.
Right now, lads.
All good and fine, but the monster's not in its nest. Gotta track it down first.
Not at all necessary, Geralt. We looked into it. Gave it a think. Traders use
You got any tannin?
Came into a bit, aye. Here.
There.
A stroke like that. To fight at a true witcher's side. Prime the way you swung that razor, mate.
Mentioned some fee from a guild. I hear you right?
Ha! Witcher drives right for the gut. A professional, right thorough. Your share, friend. Every last copper as we agreed. We'll collect us a few of them silver scales and the tail. Proof for the guild, right?
and we'll get word of you to some folk. Merchant folk, meaning. They ought to treat you right.
Thanks, and farewell.
Look at my lordling,
My
sobbing
poor
over the
Lucas,
vermin filth.
cruelly slaughtered, like a common
Probably a fair
beast.
bit yourself when wolves stamp your helmets.
What do you mean? He's like them wolves.
No, muttonhead. Beast were to the noble what helmet were to you.
Basilisk is a pet, a hunting dog. Notion we're wrong to start with.
Hey there.
Regis!
Damn it. Locked. No way I got the place wrong. This is it. Gotta be. Gotta be another way in around here. Kicking more eggs. Need to incinerate these to ash. Some stench. Just wonderful. Something here. Where's that artifact Kira gave me? Interesting. Agreed to meet a vampire at a cemetery. How much more cliché can you get?
Nothing comes readily to mind.
Could have left the door unlatched.
What of my privacy? I value it rather deeply. Unmolested, especially by unwanted guests, that's my preferred state. Besides, I knew you'd find a way to get in.
True enough. Need to find your friend. I'm hoping you'll agree to help.
I shall do whatever's in my power. Yet what you want or even need must matter little. What matters is what Dettlaff wants. If he does not wish to be found, you will not find him. Ever. End of story.
Come on. Gotta be some way.
Vampires can evade detection by the senses, and no divination magic works on us. Even the most precise megascope would be useless.
And this? Could this help?
Wherever did you get that?
Off one of the beast's victims, found by a bend in the river. Body was chopped in pieces. 3 of those pieces were hands. Hand with the ring seemed the odd one out. Abruxa had taken an interest in it.
It's Dettlaff's hand, without a doubt. It will do splendidly.
Ring's pretty intriguing. Made of no metal I've ever seen. And the ornamentation.
It comes from our home, where we lived before the conjunction of spheres. It's actually mine. You might call him a humanist. He saw us vampires as guests here. Guests who owe their hosts, meaning you humans and the elder races, respect.
Respect? Meaning not to treat us like cattle to be slaughtered for food?
Precisely. And the reason why I, in turn, gave it to Dettlaff. To remind him of the ideals my old friend championed.
The hand. What do you plan to do with it?
You've heard of Kovinaris' theory of tissue memory retention.
Rings a distant bell. Read about it in Alchemia Oblitera. There's a copy at Kaer Morhen, tattered, nearly disintegrated. But if memory serves, Kovinaris never managed to prove it.
He did prove it, just never managed to publish his findings. He and I corresponded, you see. It's complicated, so without...
How's it work?
We must brew a decoction which Kovinaris gave a rather poetic name. Resonance. This triggers visions of events linked to...
Any chance we might see what Dettlaff was doing just before he...
Indeed. Though I also hope
Can't you just summon Dettlaff? You're both hired vampires, there's gotta be a way.
If I'm to be entirely candid, there is indeed one.
Last resort? The hell? Why?
There is a being who can summon Dettlaff. Possesses the authority, even the power, to force him to appear in a given place. But the very act of contacting this being, well, it's akin to walking a slack line extended over a chasm filled with molten lava. An exercise as perilous to me as it would be to you.
Kovinaris spent half his life...
You guessed correctly. In addition to Dettlaff...
There's Mamoon glands, but closest ones I know of are in Vizima. A spotted white saliva would also serve, but they were cooled to extinction over a century ago.
Given...
was that?
A raven? Rather a common sight at this latitude. Very intelligent fowl. I asked, perhaps they'll find one in the area, and I would hazard that it will take them some time, nonetheless.
Rarely say no to a snifter.
Sadly, this is but a weak infusion rather than a proper distillate.
Even better. I remember your mandrake hooch. Made people say things they'd have rather kept to themselves.
Now, what could Geralt of Rivia prefer to keep to himself?
So, think you've set a nice little trap?
I love a challenge.
How about you get the ball rolling? Reveal one of your secrets. Vampires, intriguing creatures, must lead fascinating lives.
Anything in particular interest you?
Always fascinated me the way vampires can regenerate. A hand growing back is one thing, but Detloff recreating you out of a wet smear? Something else entirely.
A difficult and laborious process, but one that's possible, as my presence proves. But I've heard you too had quite the adventure. They say you lost your memory.
For a bit, but Triss helped me get it back. Actually, pretty damn lucky I only had amnesia.
Yes, you humans are rather buggered in those terms. To strip you of life is, well, it's just plain easy. I've always pitied you in that regard. We vampires are much harder nuts to crack. If a member of another race kills one of us, we can be reborn with a living higher vampire's help. However, if one of our own strikes the deadly blow, death is permanent. There can be no rebirth. One of the chief reasons why vampires long ago swore never to fight one another.
Got a new life, a new body. That give you a new start? Blank slate?
Starting all anew is a very broad concept. What exactly do you mean?
Your blood addiction, say. Wondering if your body's the same, if it still remembers. Maybe if you drank now, you wouldn't get hooked.
All addictions are a form of slavery. Re-addiction's not a risk I'm willing to take, just to test a hypothesis about corporeal regeneration and whether propensities carry over.
Fair enough. Curiosity, that's all. Sorry.
Not to worry, Geralt. Curiosity's a natural reaction under the circumstances, apart from which I've always valued that trait in you.
Gotta ask you the big question. One everyone wonders about. What happens after death?
You wish me to tell you if the human belief in the gods is well-founded? Well, that I do not know. We vampires differ exceedingly from you humans. Our matter, that of which we are composed, can exist without form. We require neither a heart, nor a brain, nor air to breathe.
But were you dead?
As humans understand death, yes.
Feel anything? Understand anything?
It's rather hard to explain. Only after rebirth did I begin to understand that what I had felt was...
Can't have been alive then. Sheesh, experience like that must be vicious.
Indeed, it's hard to compare to anything I know. Yet you are aware we don't see death as you do. The way you cling to life, we find it entirely peculiar. You are mortals, ergo it's a foregone conclusion. You will die. It's but a question of time. Thus, I often find myself wondering why you try so very hard. To die at 20 years, 40, even 100, what's the difference? They're all but the blink of an eye.
Depends on your point of view. Man who's got 1,000,000 crowns to spend can't possibly understand one who's only got 20.
Very true. One's outlook can indeed change much.
Curious what you did after you were reborn.
As I'm sure you can surmise, at first I was thoroughly absorbed with recovering. As it is, I've still not recovered completely. Yet I was so weak the first year that I could not stand nor move on my own. Detloff bore my weakness bravely, showed great patience. If not for him, I wouldn't be here, and I'd have regenerated far slower. Once I could at last stand unassisted, I set off for Bruges, for my one-time home of Dillingen. There I led the peaceful life of a rural healer and surgeon. enjoying my neighbour's respect and, in fact, constituting the exact opposite of the monstrous vampire the populace imagines.
Bruges, you say? Rebirth make you sentimental?
Perhaps a dash. But what of you? Where have you been? Ever find your Cyrilla?
Back then, yeah. But we parted again soon after. And when the time was ripe, she came back. Defeated the Wild Hunt together.
Ooh. Seems I certainly missed quite a bit while I was absent.
True enough. But it's a conversation we'll have another time. Need to know more about you now. All right, give you
one question to ask one as fascinating as you, Geralt. If you were to die and be reborn as I was, in your new life, would you choose to be a Witcher?
That's what interests you most? Whether
Many things interest.
Never chose to be a Witcher. Fate chose for me. Had it been my choice, I'd have picked a different profession. A profession where I wouldn't have to risk my life every minute of every day. Maybe even one that'd earn me some respect.
Thank you for being honest. Honesty is an attribute of the truly brave, and thus a privilege of the very few.
Still no sign of your winged friend. Sure it understood what...
Dead certain. Let's... Ever vigilant, even in his sleep. Quite vampire-like, in fact. Are you absolutely certain they don't administer a few of our genes during the trial of the grasses?
Far as I know, none. Now what you got for me?
You were right. No kobolds or mamoons for miles around.
Knew it.
Allow me to finish. You see, there's this spotted white.
Impossible. My brethren hunted down every last spotted white before I was born.
Then it seems you must revise knowledge of spotted whites. For somehow this one managed to survive your brethren's onslaught. It seems I know this home it haunts. Recall a tale about it.
Know anything else about this curse?
I don't recall much in particular. Really don't attack...
Come on, search your memory. Something, anything could be important.
I believe it had a relation to hunger, or... perhaps greed, rapacity. Someone was punished for something...
Textbook definition of a curse, pretty much.
Sorry, Geralt. I try not to clutter my mind with the details of every far-fetched tale I happen to hear. What are your thoughts?
A specimen of a species thought long extinct, and a curse, in one place. That a coincidence, or are they related?
Ah, professional curiosity. Personally, I've nothing against you delving into this dilemma, but please remember we need the whites' saliva. Nothing beyond that.
Whites rarely appear in the woods, even less likely to find them in abandoned human homes. They inhabit remote wildernesses, old abandoned cemeteries.
What's your point?
This might not be a spotted white after all. Your little helper might have made a mistake.
I sincerely doubt it. Ravens are devilishly intelligent.
What exactly did they observe?
The area around the estate. It's covered in... spoons.
Spoons?
Spare me the skeptical smile. I'm but the bearer of this news. Or perhaps this spotted white is a hoarder.
Let's do this. Start making your decoction while I go get some saliva from that white. Uses it in its brews.
Do you imagine the white will simply sell you some?
Worst case scenario, I'll bring you its salivary glands. They ought to do as well.
For a moment there, I imagined you asking the white to spit into a vial. Quite amusing as a thought, but the
So, see...
Yes, delayed.
Tomes? Thought you were going to make this decoction.
We require one last ingredient. Alas, obtaining it could prove a trifle.
All right. Good luck.
And to you, my friend.